All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining this special edition of the Gather Up Agency Only webinar. Just a little housekeeping note, since the chat seems to be disabled, we're going to work with Q&A today. I can see the Q&A section down at the bottom. Make sure you ask your questions as we go. Popping them into the Q&A is great for us. I got Steve on our marketing team here managing that. He'll bring those questions up when they're relevant. So make sure to ask your questions, as well as always towards the end, we're going to make time for Q&A. So you can certainly stick around and save your questions to the end, but pop them into the chat as they come to you, and we'll make sure we can answer those live for you. I'm going to get right into this. We do have quite a bit to cover here in 30 minutes, but I want to make sure we do get that done. For those of you that aren't aware, there have been some big changes in the review space in regards to rules and guidance that was put forth by the Federal Trade Commission. Now, for those of you that are regular readers of our blog, this is not new to you. We first reported this back in March, and we've been working diligently to make these changes to make sure that Gather Up, as always, is a trusted solution for both you and your clients. And also, we're a big fan of the changes too. To be honest with you, we like them. So we were excited to get them across the line. I really wanted to make sure we held this webinar today for agencies, especially because some of you may know I used to come from an agency that resold Gather Up. And you folks are going to be the ones that are going to need to talk to your clients about these. You're going to need to make sure they understand either how to use them, or make sure your team knows how to use these changes and what they mean and all that good stuff. So we're going to get started and jump into this. As always, if you need to leave, we are recording this, so we will send out the recording later on. You can always go to gatherup.com/webinars to watch any of our past webinars. So jumping into this, we'll just go over a quick agenda for today. So today we are going to be covering what is this FTC guidance? What did the FTC tell us, as well as other review companies? We all got the same guidance, and we were all told you better be falling in line with this quickly. We're going to cover, of course, who this affects, and most importantly, what is changing. What do these changes mean for you and your customers? What does it mean for how you navigate within the Gather Up platform as well, because these changes will affect a bit of that as well. And then some of the benefits of these. Now, quick housekeeping note as well, before I jump into this, all of this has come from, all of the documentation you're going to see in slides today have come from a white labeled document that Steve and the marketing team have made for our white labeled agencies. So you will be being sent this. We'll also send it out with the recording. But any of the slides here, again, and all the documentation we talk about today is in a separate document that we will be getting to you. So you will have this locked and loaded and ready to go when you talk to your customers about it. Okay, so Federal Trade Commission, you may have heard of them before. They came out back in March and laid down the law, so to speak, in regards to the way businesses should be handling their reviews online, and then importantly, the way that software like ourselves should be handling those reviews online. And again, we did cover this in our blog. There's a quick link there, and I'm sure Steve can. Well, we don't have the chat working today, so maybe Steve won't be able to pop that into the chat. But if we do get that going, we'll send that out. You can always go and Google Gather Up blog FTC. That'll bring up our blog article where we talk more in depth on this. But the three ways the FTC guidance is going to affect us is around the publication of reviews. So this is your review widgets that you're putting on your client site to showcase those reviews. The moderation of reviews. So how do we handle fake reviews, spam reviews, or reviews that we don't like? And the collection of reviews. What does it mean when we request for reviews? So let's jump into this, and we're going to start with review publication. And the reason we're going to start with this first is this is what affects our platform the most. So The points here cover exactly what the FTC said to us, as well as businesses that are publishing reviews on the website. First and foremost, they want you to publish all reviews. And they don't want you to display reviews in a misleading way. So we're not putting great reviews to the front and bad reviews to the back. They want every business, and we're going to talk more in depth about this in a second, but every business to create and display a review policy. Now, this policy, we have examples that we'll share with you, and we'll make sure you have all the links and resources you need to help your clients do this, but they would like to see businesses creating a review policy and have reasonable procedures to identify these fake reviews. So definitely, I mean, unfortunately, spam reviews are still something that happens from time to time. So when that does happen, we'll want to make sure that you have a reasonable procedure to identify those and make sure those are handled properly. Going into the moderation side of it, this is really the reviews that you're not going to display, you're not going to show on your website, and they want you to have a reasonable process in place to identify those fake reviews, those deceptive reviews, or otherwise manipulated reviews. They don't want anybody to edit reviews. We've seen businesses where they'll take a phrase from a review and just post a sentence or two and leave the rest of the review out. So if you're going to display reviews, you're going to want to display the entire review. Not to worry as well, folks, within the Gather Up review widgets, that will happen automatically, so nothing's changing there. And they want you to treat positive and negative reviews equally. So making sure, again, that we're not only displaying positive. They do want to make sure some negative does get out there, but there are some caveats to that we're going to talk about in a sec. The last bit is around the review collection, and anybody who's an OG user on GatherUp knows that about 4.5 years ago, we made changes to make sure that GatherUp was in line with Google's review gating policy. The FTC's guidance goes a little bit further in talking about publication and moderation of reviews, but they are also in line with Google's review gating policy. So it is important that we don't only ask for reviews from positive folks. We don't offer incentives. Hopefully nobody's offering any sort of incentives for third-party reviews on sites like Google, for instance. That's a great way to get your reviews removed. Do not offer incentives for third-party reviews. If you are offering incentive for first-party review feedback, it's important that both positive and negative individuals have the same opportunity to claim that incentive regardless of their feedback. So we don't want to give a discount to only folks who love you. That has to be available to anybody who has negative feedback as well. And don't prevent or discourage people from submitting negative reviews. Again, this shouldn't be new to anybody within GatherUp. We've been in line with these policies for the last 4 years, but it's a little more law of the land as well. So let's talk about who this affects. I mean, there's a simple answer right there. The entire United States. Of course, this is where the Federal Trade Commission lives and governs. So just a quick note here. If all of your clients are outside of the United States, you can log off. Have a good day. Nothing's changing for you. Now, if your Trades Commission decides to change that, then certainly we'll hold additional webinars there. But to be clear, this is businesses located in the United States. So even if you as an agency are located in Canada, UK, I know we have some Australia friends that might be watching this recording later on. It's not in relation to where you are. It's in relation to where the business or your clients are. And this will be all businesses with a United States address. Okay, so we talked a little about the guidance that the FTC gave us. Now, again, the most logical explanation, or the next step is, okay, what is changing? What does this mean for you in relation to GatherUp? What does this mean for the tools within GatherUp? So the two main areas that it's going to affect is, of course, our review widget. There are going to be changes done in the review widget. The request mode changes are minimal. Some of you may find that this doesn't change a darn thing. in the way you've been doing things, but there is a little bit of change there. So we want to make sure everybody is aware of this. The biggest change is going to be around the automatic suppression of negative reviews. So over on the left-hand side, you'll see our previous threshold was based on the rating. So you could choose to auto-publish reviews only 3 stars and up, or only 4 stars and up. Only display the 5-star reviews on your website. That is an automatic review submit or suppression. And as we just went over the guidance from the FTC, that violates their biggest rule of treating them equally. So first of all, the changes will go into effect that will stop you from being able to allow to suppress negative reviews based on the rating. We're going to be moving now to a time-based system. So this will give both you and your clients time to see if you want to display these reviews on your website. Do they meet the review policy that you put in place? If they don't, we're going to be removing those from the website, and it's going to be set up on time. So under your time there, you'll have a delay. And this again is put in place to give everybody more than enough time, as much time as they need to go in there and determine, do I want this review published on our website? So your options there will be no delay, which and then your review widget will post every single review that comes in directly to your website immediately. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and 7 days. So 1 week there if you'd like a whole week. So generally as an agency, I would look at, okay, how often do we go into our clients' accounts? If you're responding to reviews, are you going in once a week? If that's the case, maybe you want to set that to a 7-day delay. Again, everybody is notified of these reviews, so you can certainly set a shorter delay. And when you see one come through that requires your attention, hop into the dashboard then and deal with that one then, but have that review go out in 2 days, knowing full well that any great review we get, let's pop that on the website within a couple days. But let's give our team enough time to look at the reviews that came in that maybe don't meet our criteria and are things that we want to address. Again, we apologize for the chat being disabled there. As Steve has mentioned, it should be fixed now. If it is not fixed, or if you find you can't get into the chat, just pop your question or comment in the Q&A section. We'll make sure those get answered for you. So more changes that are going to come in regards to this time publishing are on your customer activity dashboard. So within your customer activity dashboard, you're going to notice a new line there called publishing. And this publishing is going to show, like the example up at the top here, when the review is scheduled to be published on the website, on the review widget. In this case, we have June 21st. We see in the second one, that one has been published right away. We have published as well. And then we notice a third one down there that has been decided to be not published. So you'll see either the date it's scheduled to be published and then whether or not it has been published on the review widget. And then, long users of GatherUp will be very familiar with the fact that we absolutely love filters. We want to give everybody the ability to parse their feedback in any way, shape, or form. So under our filtering tab on the customer activity screen, we're adding 3 new filters, and they're in line with what you just saw there. So we have published on, published off, and then scheduled as well. So tactfully as an agency, if you're going in, you're like, okay, once a week, I want to check out what reviews came in and make sure I decide whether or not I want them published on my client's site. Go into your filter option from customer activity screen, scroll down to published, or scroll down to the scheduled option, which we have highlighted here, and that will segment all the reviews that are coming to be published in the coming days on the website. Once you do that, you'll be able to, on the right-hand side of the customer activity screen, click Manage, and you'll notice the same on-off toggle that's been there for about 5 years now. So that on-off toggle is not being removed. You can remove reviews that don't meet with your policy or that you don't want on your client's website. The auto filtering is gone, but it will be removed. But the ability to manually turn them on or off the widget will still remain. So hop in there, pick your filter, look at your scheduled reviews that are going up there, make a determination of whether those meet with your review policy that you've put together with your customer. So let's talk about that review policy. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to go the last point first here. We are not lawyers, but we do have quite a bit of help we can give you. We're very familiar with creating online review policies. So Steve has also put this in the chat. Go grab that. Look at our help there. We also have in the document that we're going to share with you in the recording, we have some links to some of our clients who have been nice enough to share their review policies with us. Now, don't go copying and pasting things like that. Make sure it does apply to the business again. But essentially what you're doing is creating a policy that outlines the content that you're going to find permissible within your website. And typically you're going to want to link to this policy on the page where you're displaying reviews. So if you have, Chris's watercooler.com/reviews, make sure you put that link to that page about your review policy there so that any clients that are interested in reading about your policy are able to do so. And then, have a process in place to remove the reviews manually that don't meet with this policy. So the FTC has given us guidance here to say we want businesses to be clear about their review policy, and we want them to share that with anybody who's come to their website so that they understand when they're reading the reviews, here are the ones we remove. So again, have a checkout at that article that Steve posted if you need some help in getting that policy done. And certainly recommend that you take some time and get that set up for your clients so that they're on the right side of this. So in regards to the mode changes, this is within the request modes. And over on the left-hand side, you'll see an example here of the show online review links. So again, you're going to show online review links on the positive side because that's great. This person's given us a positive rating. We want to ask them for a review. On the negative side, again, this has been in place for about 4.5 years. You will know that we have the show online review links toggle on the negative landing page as well. These toggles will remain, but how they act is going to change a little bit. What's going to happen now is if you have that turned off on either the positive or the negative page, it will be turned off on the other one automatically. So there may have been some clients that you decided, the heck with Google and their policy, we're going to flip this off and not share review links on the negative landing page. That is no longer possible. We highly discourage people doing that in any way. If Google were to ever find out that your client was doing that, their action is to remove reviews. As well, this has been something that's been in place for 4.5 years and has in no way increased negative reviews to a drastic favoring in the leave direct feedback button. Customers interact with that far more than any review links on this negative landing page. So again, if this is something that you turned off those review links on the negative landing page, they will be turned on for you in the coming days. So some of the benefits of this, and again, if I'm not getting any questions in the chat, I'm going to assume they've all been answered. Definitely make sure you get your questions into that Q&A section. But some of the benefits of this, we're huge supporters in sharing everything. We really have, if you've been a client of ours for a long time, if you've heard our founder, Mike Blumenthal, speak, our former CEO, Aaron, speak, we are big people in favor of showing a full picture, making sure that customers know, yeah, there are times we have negative reviews, but here's the awesome way we handle it. In fact, businesses nowadays, or customers nowadays are not expecting 5-star rated businesses. It is not happening. If you think that, if you have that in your head, get it out. It's not happening. People expect to see negative reviews. A very interesting review stat that I've seen from the good folks over at Bright Local on their review survey is that of the 86% of people who read online reviews, 97% of those people read the business's responses. So people like myself are going in and filtering by negative. Let me see if people complain about you. What do they say? And how do you handle that as a business? So as agencies, helping your clients do this, if this is part of your service to make sure you're responding to reviews, great. If not, if this is something that's in the client's boat, make sure that they understand the response is incredibly important. And businesses that respond well to negative reviews actually do a great deal in helping their overall reputation, because they're able to show customers what happens if we miss the mark. We care and we take care in our customers and make sure they get everything they need. As well, we've talked about this many times. Go to Google, search Gather Up Review Reply Templates. We have a fantastic blog article. I'm sure Steve can pull it up and put it in chat as well. Fantastic blog article about how to effectively reply to reviews and make sure that the customers reading these reviews leave with a great expectation of the customer service they're going to receive from your clients. And again, use these negative reviews. They're an opportunity to listen to your customers. Heck, you might learn something from them. Maybe they'll be able to point something out you weren't aware of. But fixing these negative experiences is going to do a great deal in helping new customers decide that they want to do business with your client. So positive and negative reviews help build trust with your clients. One of the great things here as well is if all reviews are positive, and Steve has the link for this and we'll be sending this out to everybody, but if all reviews are positive, that actually leads shoppers to perceive a lack of credibility with this business. So believe it, customers are looking for negative reviews. They want to read negative reviews. And most importantly, they want to see the responses. And just know as well, as you're responding to reviews within GatherUp, we're also displaying those responses on the review widget. So everybody is able to see how you've responded to that review as well. And then probably the most surprising stat or stat I make sure all of my customers know when I talk to them is that 5-star rated businesses do less revenue online than ones between 4 and 4.5. 4.3 is actually the optimal rating online. So yes, you need to be in 4. Absolutely. You want to have a 4-star average on those reviews, but 5-star rated businesses aren't trusted as much because of that lack of credibility, and because of that, they do less revenue online. And the link we have for that as well has been put into the chat there. Also, just a reminder again, I'm not seeing any questions here. I hope everybody's questions are being answered. Want to make sure we leave this with a good understanding of what's changing and what we're facing here. Again, as a reminder, we're going to send this out to everybody afterward with a great document that our marketing team has put together, that the large majority of the information you saw today is from that document. So you will have that. It's in a nice grayscale, so you can go in and make it your own if you'd like to white label that document. Now, some changes that are coming. This is just a reminder to people that maybe missed our last webinar. This is already live in the product, but you are now able to purchase additional SMS credits for your clients. So typically a location with us will be given 300 SMS credits per month. If you know that customer is going to need additional credits on a monthly basis, you're able to go in, click your name in the top right corner, and go down to manage add-ons, and you'll be able to add additional text messages, and you'll see the cost for adding those text messages there as well. If you need anything outside of these set parameters here, by all means, you can reach out to support@gatherup.com. Our team will be more than happy to help you, but you're able to add what you need. So again, as I mentioned, sorry, you're going to click on your name in the top right, go down to add-ons and integrations. Within there, you'll see a list of all of your locations and the add-ons you already have. And then you can search a business name there if you want to bring it on, bring up a certain client and toggle and add those additional SMS and email credits. So again, as a reminder, it's 3,000 emails per month per location and 300 text messages per month per location. That comes standard in your account unless you've already added something on. But now you'll be able to manage that and do that within your account so you can charge your clients accordingly to make sure that that's not a cost on your end as well. And then a quick sneak peek of a great request that came from one of our clients. By the way, everybody on this call, when you make a request to us, it doesn't get lost in the void. We put it within our system. We use Salesforce here. We have a product feedback section. And this is constantly where we are going for new product ideas. So this is one that came in that way, where one of our clients said, it would be great if I got notified when my clients haven't sent reviews. Now, within your agency dashboard, you'll be able to see the last time they've sent reviews and be able to, with our stoplight feature, view that. But some of our agencies said it would be great for us to be able to get a notification so that we don't have to rely on going in the dashboard. So this is going to be coming shortly. This one, the FTC changes will be coming in the next couple of days. Again, we'll send communication on the exact day. It won't be a surprise to anybody. So have a look out for those communications. This one, we likely will have this one either coming in October or in November. So these will be no request sent notifications where your team will be notified of this and be able to reach out to a customer and say, hey, by the way, you haven't sent any reviews for the last 7 days. Make sure you send those along. As well, if you haven't noticed, we have added great integration possibilities. We have 6 great softwares within our integration section that you can add free of charge and be able to automatically send names in. The 2 most popular ones are our QuickBooks integration. So you're able to set up a trigger within QuickBooks that when that happens, we want to send people to leave a review. And we also have a Google Sheets integration where you can create a Google Sheet and share that with your client and allow them to add their customers to that Google Sheet. And then every 5 minutes, we're going to pull that information into our system and automatically send that review request out. So great things. Get into our integrations. If you have any questions based on anything you saw here, I want to leave time for Q&A, but it looks like we haven't had any questions. So as long as nobody's holding their questions, do reach out to support@gatherup.com. You can also reach out to me, of course, Chris at GatherUp. You can get Steve involved if you'd like as well. Marketing's pretty busy these days, but support and myself will be your front line there. So any questions you have, anything that comes up in the next coming days, reach out to us. Steve mentioned there, sorry, September 13th is going to be the go live date for these FTC changes. So we got a couple weeks till that goes out. So any questions in the meantime, reach out to us and let us know. We'll be happy to make sure you have everything you need. You'll be getting the recording in the next day or so, and Steve will also include the document that I referenced earlier. That will be part of this as well. Perfect. We're coming up to exactly 30 minutes. I know we don't have a shy group of people here. I'm not seeing questions. So I think I'm not seeing questions because all of them have been answered. So we'll let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your week and a fantastic Labor Day. Bye, everyone.